Alrighty, here we are on part 10 of the Communist Utopia playthrough, so let's get into it. Okay, so before I started recording this episode today, I decided to kind of like quickly glance at the island and get an idea of what I wanted to do before I started recording. So there's a couple things on my little checklist, and we've got to build up all of the rest of the industry buildings that I want to get set up, so everything for one more fashion company. Then there's the tourism like destination over here, and then we want to do a bit of municipality, mainly some embassies, and then ask all of the foreign countries for no, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to ask for a total of 100,000 if we're friends with all of the foreign countries, which could be a pretty good bonus to help set things up. So I'm going to go ahead and ask America for financial aid here. They're going to give us some free money. We're about to make 50,000 once a ship shows up. So I'm going to sit here and we'll let our money build up just a little bit longer. And then we'll use all of this money to set up the rest of the industry that we wanted. So we have production buildings to completely supply us with additional, like a whole additional textile mill. So I don't think that I need any more cotton or wool. Before we get too far into this, I'm going to double check though. So I think we need 2 cotton plantations. So we only have 1. So I need 1 more cotton plantation. I'm going to move this again for like the 10th time. Alrighty. That's out of the way. We always need to make sure we have enough electricity. Make sure these are on the lowest budget. Okay. So we need 2 additional, so we need a total of 3 right now. Just go through and just fix it. Give us just enough electricity. And then I'm going to go ahead and build 3 of these up. 1, 2, 3. Quick build them all. And now we should be able to put everything on the minimum budget and be able to afford an additional hydroponic plantation. This one's going with cotton. We don't need like any of these roads out here. Could even probably get away with building something like this. Build the roads all the way down like that. Demolish all of this. Don't need any of it. So now we can come up like this, over like this, and reconnect this to that. Okay. So that's looking still kind of funky, but I mean it'll be okay. Go through, put down our hydroponic plantation of cotton. And so each cotton plantation has an output of, if I can find it, 8,120. A textile mill has an input of the same amount. And so if we have 2 textile mills, we'll need 2 cotton plantations. And then in terms of wool, 4,640 is what it needs. And 1 llama ranch provides double that. So 2 cotton plantations and 1 llama factory ranch should provide us with enough resources for 2 whole textile mills. On top of that, we need leather for a fashion company. And currently we have just enough, I believe. Just enough to supply us with leather for that. And then if we check out the crocodile factory ranch, this is giving an output of, oh wow, okay, so 1 crocodile factory ranch can completely supply us with a fashion company's leather input. So this means, okay, yeah, how I was going to have it set up is an additional tannery. So 2 tanneries and 1 crocodile factory ranch should be enough leather for 2 fashion companies. And then on top of that, the textile mills will help feed these fashion companies as well. Okay. So, as soon as we sell all of this stuff here, $123,000 worth of exported goods. Nothing's close to being over 10,000. Milk's kind of getting close, but that's the next thing is we'll build up some additional creameries. So as soon as we make this money, which is going to be really huge, let's check our budgets. Everything's still looking decent. Okay, we have 120,000 ducats now. So let's activate industrial. Oh, well, you know what? Before we do... Oh, no, we still have unemployed people. Okay. As long as we've got unemployed people, then I can continue to build jobs here. Industrialization costs a pretty penny, but we definitely have enough for it. So, I would like to build these buildings within, these new industrial buildings within the area of influence of a waste treatment facility, and it doesn't look like any of them are going to reach this zone here. But it looks like all of our current industry buildings are being affected. Okay, so this means that it would probably be best to build up waste treatment facility before moving forward. As a matter of fact, I think somewhere right around here. So before I do that, what I am going to do is put the textile mill down. And then right next to it, just to help out with spacing, I'd rather put down the... Like, I was going to put it somewhere around here-ish, but I wanted it to fit next to the textile mill, so I put the textile mill down. And this lets me kind of, like, just get good spacing on everything. Okay, so that's all set up. We're going to need an additional tannery as well. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And then we're also going to need the additional fashion company. The new fashion company we'll put over here right next to the high school. Actually, I think that's a fine spot. It's going to need its own road coming down. Okay. So we've got all of that set up. We need 2 additional creameries. And then I wanted to do an additional juicery. But the juicery is also going to need additional coconuts. Well, as a matter of fact, all of these coconut plantations have a 130% efficiency, which is pretty good. So that means roughly 3 of them equals 4 of them, right? If you're adding up the percentages here. So we technically have 4 coconut harvesters working at 100% efficiency. On top of that, the juiceries are going to have less than 100% efficiency. And so this is all telling me that I can buy the nutcracker upgrade here. And then I can switch this to banana and coconut. And so now this building is taking bananas in and coconuts. So let's check the numbers here. Oh no. Okay. So we need a total of... Well, we'll just let it go for a while. If we need more coconut harvesters, then I'll build it. But so the input storage for the juicery is 9,600 for coconuts, which is roughly 3 coconut harvesters, right? So we need roughly 3 coconut harvesters to feed 1 juicery, if we're going with the coconut flavored. But this also means, or well, because the efficiency of this industry building is less than 100, then we might be able to get away with not having quite as many as we need, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and move on to our creamery. We can put a creamery here, and then I think I want to do one like way at the end of the road here. Make sure... Okay. So I'm going to cancel the construction of this waste treatment facility. Let a little bit of time go through. And so what I'll do first is put a juicery here. And then waste treatment facility. Just so that all of the industry buildings are 100% guaranteed to be affected by some sort of waste treatment. This is an environmentalist island, so we definitely want to keep the population happy by not having a lot of pollution on the island. So this is all looking really good. We have 2 additional creameries that should handle all of our milk. waste treatment facility, stopping the pollution. This juicery is going to go on coconut and pineapple. And so this will allow me to process all the coconuts, all the pineapple, and all the coconuts, all the pineapple, all the bananas. So that's pretty cool. Our canneries, they have fish, pineapple, meat, coffee. So canneries are going to be producing lots of cans for the foreseeable future. We're producing fish here. I could set up 2 more fish farms to produce shellfish. If you see here, you can change the resource of fish farms. That's pretty cool, but I might not end up doing it. I guess we'll see. We need to move a road down 2 spaces here. We have a metro station there. If you click on a metro station, you can see where the rest of them are. And so I don't think we need any more. Maybe one like somewhere around here, but definitely not in this location. So I'm gonna fill this in with some parks. What I could do is something like this. A little circle. This little 1x3, probably not gonna use it, so we'll go ahead and fill it in with parks as well. Cool. Let's go and check on our clinics. So this clinic is completely full. This clinic's full. This clinic's full. And I believe we have one more somewhere. Do we only have 3? 2, 3. No, we do have 4. A 4th. Over here. And this one looks like it's pretty full as well. So this means that we probably need an additional clinic. We ended up getting rid of all these plantations, so I think what I'll do is come to here and put a clinic right behind this grocery store. We can also build a park up here, as well as right here. Alrighty, that's looking all pretty good. I should have put, oh no, we need more electricity. I didn't take that into consideration on any of those industry buildings I just built. At least one more wind turbine should be enough. I can always increase the budgets on these if we need the electricity like right now, but this should be fine. I should have put this on low priority to make sure everything else got built first, but it'll probably be okay. Always on the lowest budget. Chrome tanning and scent spray, I'll pick them up. Probably not the most necessary, but that's fine. Lowest budget for all of our plantations. Go through, make sure nothing's... Well, what you can do, instead of going through and making sure nothing's being sold, you can just click on food, food providers. So there's 2 hydroponic plantations that are selling food. So we can turn those off, and then a creamery is selling food as well. Don't want that. So now if we switch away and come back, we can see that our groceries are the only things producing food. It says they're at 99, they're supposed to be at 100, but here it says 100. So I have a feeling that it's like a decimal somewhere. And so we're only at a 100 or a 99% food happiness. And so I feel like this means that we need one more cannery. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that pretty soon. But this also means that I want to go through and make sure we have enough produce to put in our cannery. Well, as a matter of fact, I reckon we could probably just get away with it. I guess we'll see. But as soon as we're done industrializing the whole island, then I think the next thing that I'll do, first thing I'll do right afterwards, is set up this little tourism area. And then once the tourism area is set up, then we should have some pretty steady income. So we won't be bleeding so much money. And then on top of that, we'll be making lots of money from all of our exports. And then the last thing I'll do is set up a little bit more zone here for, I'll probably end up moving these 2 offices across the street. Just for an aesthetically pleasing setup. Refuse incineration. So this is now producing us a bit of electricity, not much, 13. But if we build more industrial buildings in this zone, then that will keep going up. Decrease everything. Butter churner. I could do these ripening refrigerators.
We may not be able to buy happiness, Presidente, but we may soon have enough to rent it indefinitely.
That's pretty funny. Okay. Minimum budgets, minimum budgets, minimum budgets. And so this one is getting switched to... Oh, we have to buy Nutcracker. And then on top of that, we need just a little bit more electricity. I'm not going to buy another one right now, at least until we get an import. But I will buy Nutcracker for this building and change this one to Coconut Pineapple. So we have two juiceries, one on Coconut Banana and the other on Coconut Pineapple. Convenient. Don't want it to allow local consumption. So the thing about this ripening refrigerators is it's not increasing efficiency. It's just increasing output, which is really good. This is like a really, really good thing to pick up. I'm probably going to pick up both of them. It is a bit expensive, and we're pretty low on electricity now. So I'm going to spend the last of my money here on as many wind turbines as we can get. Okay, looks like we can get away with 3. And just to immediately get a bit more, can go through and increase the budget on a couple of these. Cool. So there we go. Everything is looking pretty good. We almost have all of the industry done. Lots of stuff being sold. And so ideally what you would kind of want to do is anytime you notice that something's just like, there's too much of it, like all these bananas. I would rather sort of be turning this into literally anything else. Like, let's check the price of bananas and juice real quick. Get some prices. Can sort by price. This is a really crazy island, like a playthrough right now, because the price of cars went up. Usually they're like 20 something thousand, 28,000 I think. And now they're up to $38,000 for 1,000 cars. That's really insane. But anyways, let's go and find bananas. La-di-da. If I can find them. Banana. So $734, like that's nothing, right? That's a very low amount. We won't even make $1,000 if we sell 1,000 bananas right now. So now let's go and find juice. Juice is worth like, I don't even know, 15 times as much money. And so all of that all the bananas that we just sold, I would rather get an entire juicery running. And so we're gonna let the island kind of acclimate to all the new industry buildings that we're making. And then once we kind of have like a pretty solid idea of what exactly is going on, then I'll build potentially just a couple more industry buildings. Like if we just have like too much of a certain production type, so like too much sugar, then build maybe another chocolate factory or maybe one more rum distillery. Just whatever we end up having a little bit too much of. Let's check in on our population. We have a handful of vacant jobs. So this is a pretty comfortable screen right now. We don't have too many homeless families and we don't have too many unemployed people. College jobs, customs office. We need 3 college educated people. I think I'm just gonna hire these workers for it. I'm not sure. We'll just leave it for now. Let's check in on our tourist only buildings. It looks like they're doing pretty good. So anytime we have a tourist building, like if all of our tourist buildings are all completely booked up all the time, then I could probably get away with building just a couple more touristy buildings. As we can see, every one of these taverns out here, our ancient ruins, both of the snorkel bays, and this little zone here that has the theater and the cabaret, these are all full. So this is telling me that it's probably about time to build up our tourist area. So we're gonna let everything kind of like even out here. I want our dock to make us like another big chunk of money. Once we get the next chunk of money, then I'll go ahead and build up our touristy zone. I'm gonna put this on ×4 speed. I'm always preaching it. You don't want to play like this usually because like everything's just gonna be moving way too fast. There's lots of decisions that you won't be able to even notice because it'll just like fly by. So typically you don't want to do this, but I kind of want to keep the progression at like a pretty consistent rate. I don't want to kind of sit around for too long. So this is immediately going to give me the money I need to build up my touristy area here. We just got contraception ban. So now, I need to be careful because we're starting to get a lot of intellectuals on the island. And in doing contraception ban here, as we can see the second sentence, decreases intellectual standing by 20, but it increases religious standing by 25, and also increases the birth rate. So this is, I don't know how to feel about it. It's nice because there's more positives than negatives. And what's really nice is that it doesn't decrease liberty, but it is going to decrease the intellectual faction standing. And they already have good old days, like working against them. But see the improv theater. Over the course of the island's lifetime for the rest of the playthrough, if we get a lot more intellectuals on the island and they're all visiting improv theaters, then this number right here, the +8, we could get it up to +100, maybe even further. And so, if that ends up happening, then there's nothing we could do to make the intellectuals upset. And so, that's the end goal. It looks like it's already doing pretty well, so I want to keep this at least above 40. So a -20 right now would keep us within that comfort zone, so I am going to go ahead and activate it.
Babies. They cry, poop, and do nothing useful. But we love them so much, especially when they are asleep or in somebody else's house. Why don't we plan for more bundles of joy in the future by encouraging the citizens to do what they already want to do and take down the barriers between them?
Nice. Okay, so we enact contraception ban. It is going to level up. I believe this will get the birth rate up to +70, and then I think it'll change the standings in the future. So that's nice. Let's see what our support changes. Support didn't change. Okay. But now we have religious standing all the way to 100. So that's really cool. We have the religious standing all the way up. Communist standing, we can get that up pretty soon as well. I would rather move even more people away from the capitalist faction first. Because typically whenever you increase communist standing, you decrease capitalist standing. And real quick, I'll show you. Oh, no, okay, we're good. Okay, there's the 70,000, so I'll pause it right here. One simple thing that I could do is just wealth tax. It decreases capitalist standing by 20, which will get it below 20, which is at like 20 something right now, maybe 30 something. And so at that point, once it's below like 20, here real quick, I'll show you. See, we're at 37. Once you get it below 20, typically you start running into a lot of ultimatums, and the capitalist ultimatum is gonna, I think it like doubles the price of everything for like a year, and so that's not ideal. So before that ends up happening, well, I mean, I guess we'll just have to deal with that one once it comes up, but hopefully we get everyone away from the capitalist faction before we make them upset. So we're at 84. So activating wealth tax will push it up by 15, And so if it was at 85, just a little bit higher, then we'll have a communist standing of 100. Then maybe there's like one other little thing we could do. But wealth tax, wealth tax, it's not gonna, like, there's an upfront cost, and then we don't have to like spend any more money on it, so that works with us really well. And then maybe there's like one other little thing we could do. Somewhere around here. I'm not sure. Either way, we'll have it above 90, which is pretty nice. No more charges. Nice. That's really nice. Cool. Okay. So there's all of that. We just got this chunk of money. So what I'm gonna do is move the immigration office across the street. Well, let me do like a little bit of planning here. So I'm definitely gonna move the embassy sometime pretty soon. So might as well make it now. So there is an embassy. Each additional embassy costs like, I don't know, maybe 20,000? No, only $5,000. That's not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and do it then. So here's another embassy. There's another embassy. And that's every embassy that we'll need. I want to build a fort, so as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, cancel the construction of all of these ones. Let's turn the speed back down to ×1. And I want to do something like this, I think. Okay. So now there's like a bit of space between the embassies and this little fortress here. It's going to have a larger footprint, but I think it'll look a bit nicer. Okay. So there is all of this going on. And this also means that I will eventually have the space for 3 gourmet restaurants. And so the efficiencies of these buildings are going to go down because we're going to have everything on the lowest budget, but we can get the efficiencies back up with our fish farms here. And so that'll be really efficient, and hopefully we can get them back up to 100. And that means that we'll only need 3 gourmet restaurants set to the supply local market work mode to increase the efficiency of our embassies, which will get us a higher standing with all of the invited superpowers, and that'll just like make everything a bit more easy. And so then let's go through and build up some military fortresses. Sorry, not military fortresses, but some guard towers. We need a total of 3, and so what I think I'll do is something like this. I believe the gourmet restaurants have a footprint of a 2x3, so 2 of them can fit here, and then maybe we can just fit some other one like around in the tourist area. And then this also means that we can go through and start building up some parks throughout this area. Okay. I'm just going to build up a bunch of these parks here. Maybe something like... Yeah, I guess we'll just do this. That looks fine. Then we have this little zone here, I guess, too. We can put the little llama. And then maybe just 2 of these. Okay. So this whole zone is pretty much perfect. So I'm going to let this build up, and I think that's going to be the end of this episode. And then in the next episode right away, we'll get the tourism whole area done. This will provide us with bunches of jobs, so it'd probably be a good idea to... Oh no, nobody's working in the Pirate Cove anymore. Let's increase the budget to as high as we can get it without going over $10 a month. Just so we can get as many people working in that building as possible. And so, once we have people in this, then I'll start stealing more people, putting them on the island. So I think these buildings, I'm going to go ahead and move them now. I believe it's like this. Our customs office, we can move it as well. Let's check government finance and see if there's anything else that I want to do. Maybe a police station. We're gonna need like a lot of police stations pretty soon. Could put one here. Can do one there. Build a road down this way. We're not going to use this little area, so we'll throw in some parks here. Any parks will do, but we'll go with those ones. Let's build up a little park there. I'm just going to quick build that police station at least. Put these on, leave them on the middle budget, always on duty. Add second shift. Now we have two police stations kind of close to each other, but that's okay. Let's check crime safety. In this zone, it is looking pretty low, which is nice. We're probably... Oh, as a matter of fact, I ended up deleting or moving the previous building here, which was the same footprint, so that means that we can simply do this. And we can put a park right here, and then we can quick build this police station. So very nice. Leave it on that budget, always on duty, second shift. Now if we check crime safety, we're starting to get the crime safety of the island pretty low. We could probably use like one more right behind these buildings here, and then another one over here. And then maybe one or two more kind of over here in like the municipal area. This one, always on duty. Cool. So now we're starting to get crime safety taken care of. That's something that I kind of have been neglecting. Usually, like, it's not that bad, but because we have like National Day and then all the little things, it's getting pretty decently terrible. Luckily, there's no broke people out here, so that they could be robbing our tourists on the island. But yeah. Everything is looking pretty good. We got most of the industry done. There's probably like a couple more buildings that I'll end up building. We'll just have to see. And so I'll let it run for, I'll check it like maybe in 66. And what we're looking for is under resources. What you can do is go to raw resources, sort by amount. And so if our produced is way over the processed amount, so here, like that's pretty even. We're producing almost 12,000 and we're processing like 8,000. That's alright. Maybe I could go with one more rum distillery. But all I gotta do is come through and check all of these. And so, because it's checking over the past 24 months, we have a pretty decent idea of what's going on. And so here we can see pineapples. We're producing 10,000, but we're only processed 3,000. So it's like, we could definitely get away with processing more of these pineapples. Same thing with cotton. Bananas as well. We produce like 5,500, but we're only processing 1,600. Corn, fish. So this gives us a pretty good idea of what we need to be. Like we probably get away with another whole tannery. But yeah, so I'm gonna check it after like another year or two once everything's kind of been running for a while, just so I know for sure exactly how things are and how they're gonna be running. Kind of sucks is this factory ranch doesn't make it within the area of effect of this radio station. So these people might not become environmentalists, but it's only 4 people, so that's okay. Want to make sure, so this fish farm as well, another 4 people, but hopefully that works out. Hopefully it'll be alright. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed sticking around for this episode, I'm going to be releasing lots of episodes within the coming weeks. Daily uploads, around 30 minutes long. Try and get 2 daily uploads done. And it'll be a good time. There'll be lots of Tropico island builds, lots of really cool ideas floating around. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. And if you guys want to see more Tropico 6 content, maybe some other strategy games that I'm going to be uploading in the future, be sure to subscribe. Peace.